A new dawn in Jerusalem. The city of three global religions awakens. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is at the heart of Islamic faith. For centuries, Jerusalem has been the heart of the world's three most significant religions. Jews, Christians and Muslims rub shoulders in its narrow streets. Living an uneasy existence in Jerusalem is all they share. The Israelis took charge of the Old Town and other parts of East Jerusalem after the Six-Day War in 1967, and now Palestinians make up less than half the population. Morning rush hour at the checkpoint between Bethlehem and Jerusalem. Jewish soldiers monitor Arabs as they enter the city. Tight security restricts freedom of movement from Palestinian-controlled Bethlehem into Israeli-controlled Jerusalem. Yasser is a Palestinian without an entry pass. Since the Israelis put up the border 6 years ago, Yasser has had to get to Jerusalem illegally.
The situation, normal situation, no any troubles. I think it's more easy than to have the troubles in the checkpoint onto the. If they, it depends also of the soldiers' mood. If they're in happy mood or in normal mood, it's okay. We're not across from far, just only from behind the checkpoint.
The checkpoint and controls are supposed to prevent terror attacks. However, determined Palestinians can evade checkpoints and scramble over walls and barbed wire to gain entry, but they risk fines or arrest if caught. However, the checkpoint is soon to be dismantled, and a new fence is supposed to stop illegal access in the future. Yasser managed to get through this time, but next time he may not be so lucky.
Well, before the policy of closure was put on, Palestinians had free access. Historically, they've always had free access to Jerusalem. Bethlehem and Jerusalem are linked, both historically, economically, and politically. And what's happened here is that the military closure has put a barrier between Bethlehem and Jerusalem. The Israelis are doing this and so that they keep East Jerusalem as part of Israel. But what's happening to the Palestinians is that they can no longer enter East Jerusalem.
Soldiers watch over a ring of 20 settlements which have sprung up in the last decades in and around Jerusalem and the West Bank. New Jewish roofs spread out in front of crumbling old Arabic settlements. With a massive building program, the Israelis will soon be in the majority in East Jerusalem. The Palestinians were allowed to develop only 13% of the area, under strict conditions and with special permits. An American millionaire is having 130 Jewish flats built in the middle of an Arab area. Jerusalem is growing, but at the Arabs' expense. Even the inhabitants themselves often can't make out the city boundaries. The demarcation line goes right through these Arab houses.
When we were boys, youth, we used to play there and to hunt birds and to look for the snakes and some like that. The kids like kids.
Is it frightening you that they build?
No, no. It is the political side is very horrible. But as people, no, we don't care. We like to be in a peace with them, to live together.
I'll put it on this way, we have already peace right now. Israel is one of the safest countries in the world.
You think so?
Yeah, of course. We can stand there, nobody bother us. We can go in every street, we feel safe. They work here, you see, they earn money. Sometimes I invite them to drink coffee in my house. They come, we are good friends. Yes, we feel very good.
So there's no problem at all?
No, there's no any problem. In my opinion, there's no any problem.
I don't want to stand in the sun any longer. If you're not going to let us in, just say so. Palestinians queue anxiously in front of the Israeli Home Office. This is where the permits for a stay in Jerusalem are granted. Documentation which unites families and registers children. The pass is of greatest importance. Without it, there's no social security, employment, or access to Jerusalem. To get the pass, Palestinians must wait for hours.
After 30 minutes, they can say to you, that's it, we don't work. Tomorrow you can come. And we are not just people like working like all of us here. There is doctors, there is many people. But here they talk to us like animals. You see this, you just see this in the animals farm.
Abandoned properties become occupied by those made homeless by draconian Israeli laws. Around 15,000 Arabs have lost the right to stay in Jerusalem. Now they squat a new generation of refugees. Their poverty is made worse by Israeli bureaucrats who refuse them basic services. The Jews want to get rid of us, but we don't want to go, in spite of everything they've done to us. Even if they throw us out of the camp, I swear I'll take my tent and live on the street. We'd rather live on the streets of Jerusalem than leave Jerusalem altogether. We were born here and can't imagine leaving. The number of Palestinian families forced to live in tents, caves, or overpopulated houses is rising. The Palestinians complain that the Israeli settlement and permit policies are driving Arabs out of Jerusalem. If people stay, it's because of their children. They hope for a better future for them, yet the future doesn't look good. The health system in East Jerusalem is poor, education unsatisfactory. There are hardly any leisure facilities, and large families are forced to live in less and less space. An Austrian project set up to inspire children to photograph each other. Young Palestinians in Jerusalem face the prospect of their culture vanishing. They also experience strong inner anguish as they see their fathers and mothers helpless before the Israeli state.
The need not to do violence, and if there is violence and that you suffer from violence, how to expose that out of yourself and translating this violence that comes into your own life into something different, and how to deal with this violence that is practiced against you because you have no space, against you because you are always in the streets and you see that all over, against you at the social level because everybody is over the heads of everybody. You can't have your own, not only space, your own 1 meter square so that you can speak and shout out freely.
It's the children who hold the key to the future of Jerusalem. If they can learn to respect one another and live together in harmony, then Jerusalem may learn to sleep quietly once more.